Hi, I'm Sifu Kuttel, and I have a very special video for you today. As you can see here, I have 4 high-quality prints with museum-quality framing. These are from the Swordsman's boutique, and they are very special. Now, the reason I am talking about this today is because if you've seen in recent videos, I have been exploring Chinese martial history through antique weaponry and replicas of antique weaponry. And although you can learn a lot from holding a sword that it was the correct weight and size for the time, we can also learn a lot and explore Chinese martial history through looking at historical prints and paintings. So let's get to it. In this video, we're going to look at the current selection available at Swordsman's Boutique, their historical significance and relevance, as well as a great and unique way to decorate your martial arts school, your home, or your studio for training. Now, I do need to make a quick disclaimer before we go any further. These prints were shipped to me for free from the Swordsman's Boutique, and although I am very grateful to them for sending these over, I don't intend to let that sway me in any particular direction as far as how these are. I will say though, I am very excited about these, and we will get into that later. I also want to mention that I will be going more into the historical significance and details of these prints in their own respective videos, so you can look forward to those in the future. But for this video, I want to do a basic overview, especially so you can see the sizes of these paintings and prints, because they are a lot bigger than what you would expect when you're looking at them on the website. Currently, the Swordsman's Boutique offers 4 prints, and some are from the Ming Dynasty and some are from later on in the Qing Dynasty, and they have some very beautiful artwork on here. They are one-to-one replicas of original paintings showing military exploits as well as highlighting warriors or even hunting. Like these 2 from the Ming Dynasty that can be either displayed solo or together as they represent chronologically 2 different points in a battle sequence. Both are one-to-one reprints of the original paintings by unknown artists in the classical landscape style of the Ming Dynasty, utilizing rich colors and detail to the contrast of the soft and oftentimes undefined negative space. The first painting is the Battle Against Piracy left section, and it depicts a number of soldiers and troops marching out to battle. You can see specific armor for the infantry and cavalry, colorful banners, and a variety of weapons from spears to pudao to polearms and sword and shield pairings with both dao and jian. One thing I'd like to point out is actually this bridge right here, and not only do bridges connect land, but this specific bridge is actually a connection between 2 paintings. We can see that same bridge connect into the next painting, which is called Battle Against Piracy, the middle section. Now here we have the bridge that is going over the river and a display of Ming Dynasty naval warfare against river pirates, and most likely Japanese wokou. There are more weapons introduced as we see archers, spearmen, swordsmen, and polearmsmen with pudao. We can see a distinct difference in the postures, armor, and the weapons of the river pirates, especially as many are either struck by arrows or knocked overboard, displaying a distinct advantage to the Ming military. Again, these prints come framed with museum quality framing. There's wooden backing, there's several layers, and then there are actually 2 frames available for this specific pairing. You can either get a gold frame or you can get a black frame, and I have one of each so you can kind of see in this video if there's one that particularly stands out to you. Now, if you're going to get these as a pair, I would suggest getting the same color frame, but in the end, that's up to you. The next print we're going to look at is a painting from the Qing Dynasty. Now, this is called a royal hunting event, and it depicts the Qianlong Emperor as well as some of his men hunting rabbits. And what makes this really exciting is it shows different pieces in time, and it gives us a nice way that we can inspect Manchurian archery, as we can see holding the bow at rest as well as nocking an arrow and then having it at full draw while on horseback. We can also see how the quivers were worn at that time and what kind of armor and saddles were used, as well as we have quite a few different horses depicted here. Now, horses were really popular subjects of the time, and what's very beautiful is that we can see different breeds represented. Again, we have the contrast of the detailed subject and the vague and whimsical backgrounds defined through negative space. The frame beautifully adores the painting with a black border accented by gold on the inner bevel for a very distinguished and refined look. The last print is the Chinese cavalry painting, and this again comes from the Qing dynasty. This picture is very simple yet extremely dynamic, as it represents a Qing officer atop a horse at full gallop with his spear locked and ready to go. Now, this particular spear is called a nailing spear, and it has a distinctive blade that runs back along the spear shaft. The warrior is atop a black steed at full gallop, giving as much action as intention in a single painting. There is no need for background, as both warrior and horse pull all attention. The detail work is immaculate. Everything from the skin tones and the wrinkles on the face to the details of the feathers and even the curls of the horse's lips. Calligraphy as an art was further developed through painting practices and oftentimes became just as much art as the subject itself. The painting is framed with a thick, dark brown frame, almost black, as stark as the black stallion in contrast to the white and open negative space for quite an overall piece. Now, as you can see, each of these paintings comes in different sizes, and this is important because you can't really see that size difference when you're looking on the website. We have the Ming Dynasty paintings, which are quite a bit smaller than the Qing Dynasty paintings, and the Chinese cavalry print is actually a total of 4 feet long. So you have to know the size of the space that you're going to be putting this up in, whether it's going to be mounted on your wall at home or in your training studio or in your martial arts school. And that brings me to my final point that I want to make in this video. These are not only beautiful prints of just immaculate paintings of Chinese history, but they are a way of representing Chinese martial history and are elegant and refined decoration ideas for your martial space. Now, I bring this up because I have run a martial arts school and been a professional instructor for over 20 years now. And in the industry, there's not a lot that caters to the Chinese martial arts community. So typically you're going to see in a martial arts school, there are generic samurai posters with motivational quotes, or maybe even Buddhist or yoga quotes on hanging cloths and tapestries, but there's really never a good Chinese martial arts representation. And the fact that Chinese martial arts spans so many different styles, you could be doing a traditional style and maybe there are some wushu pictures available. But here you have an opportunity to decorate your school with something that's relevant and very refined. Again, we have a lot of martial history in these, and going from the Ming Dynasty paintings of naval combat to the armies marching out, they're carrying a variety of weapons that we actually use in our styles, or you have the Manchurian archery picture, the Qianlong Emperor and the royal hunting event, and that shows a lot of ways that archery was used in the history, or you have the warrior Ayusi riding on horseback with his nailing spear. These are just really cool ways to show your martial history in your school, and I think that's excellent for any martial arts school. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I will leave all of the information and links to the Swordsman's Boutique so you can check out these prints for yourself and even pick one up. Now, one of the things you need to remember is that at this point, shipping is only available to the United States. Now, again, like I said earlier, I do want to make specific videos for each of these paintings and what they represent, and we'll get into those down the road. But I did want to have a good overview so you could see all of these paintings together, especially for the size differences, because you can't always see that on the website. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these prints and paintings, so go ahead and drop those down in the comments down below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next.